Good Monday morning, Miracles Attraction Community. I'm Carly Judd Hardy, and today I'm here with Theresa McGallicher, my partner in this wonderful attracting Facebook page of Attracting Miracles. And we have some fun for you today. Yes, we'd like to talk about problems. And you know what I found, Theresa, is that in many ways, A Course in Miracles is an undoing of the conditioning that we have experienced throughout our lives. And I don't know about you, but I was conditioned to believe that I had problems. And yes, I did a lot of talking about those problems, spent a lot of energy trying to solve all those problems. But I think the Course has a different approach. So Theresa, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. The Course in Miracles has a completely different perspective on the world of problems. And I also spent many, many years either trying to solve problems or prevent problems. And it turned out to be such a waste of energy because what A Course in Miracles tells us is that all our problems have been solved. Hello, we don't have any problems. We just think we have problems. So that was a radical way of looking at the world. And once my mind shifted to see that I don't need to focus on my problems and put a lot of energy into resolving my problems, but I can just relax and let my problems be solved for me by a higher consciousness, that was a radical and really enlightening perspective. And you've seen that to be true too, right, Carly, in your life?
I have, but I love these conversations, Theresa, because I will always say I'm a work in progress. So I love to just go a little bit deeper into them because I think still I can fall back into that old way of feeling like I do have problems, something's wrong here. You know, my mind has that default, I didn't get it right or I'm not enough. And to be able to take some deep breaths and relax. And it's almost like with higher consciousness that you have an inner superpower that you've never really relied on that's available to you now.
I would agree.
Is that how it works for you?
Yeah, we could all use a superpower, right? Um, yeah, it's one of the things I always remember is a quote from Albert Einstein where he says that the same level of consciousness that created the problem is not the level of consciousness that can solve the problem. And this is what I found looking back over my life, is that I was in this world where I would either create problems for myself, or I would be involved with people who would create problems for me, seemingly, and then spend a lot of energy trying to undo those, get out of those situations. And once I understood that at this level of like worldly consciousness where the ego operates, that to expect to resolve the problem there is madness, because that's where the problem started. And we need to go to a higher level of consciousness to see the solution, to have this like bird's eye view on the situation and understand what the solution is for every problem.
That's beautiful, Theresa. And have you found when you get that bird's eye view, is there a sense of relaxation and then things seem to resolve themselves?
Totally, both. So
Is that what happens?
when you're wrapped up in the problem, it's like you're in a battle. It's you against the problem, you against the world, you against the person that's giving you trouble. And when you are able to relax and sort of detach from the problem and rise above it and have that bird's eye view, A Course in Miracles calls that rising above the battleground. It tells us to rise above the battleground. And I'm sure you've heard the expression rise above, to rise above something. It really involves embodying a higher level of consciousness. And that exactly comes from, as you described, relaxing and stepping back, taking a step back from the problem and saying, I'm not going to be all caught up in it. I'm not going to put all my energy and all of my, thoughts and into the problem by worrying about it, by feeling anxious, by feeling concerned, because those activities all come from the belief that I have to do it all myself. I'm in it alone. My little ego self has to find the answer. And it's about sort of expanding that vision of ourselves instead of seeing us as this limited individual, to see ourselves as something more than that, with a higher self that we can rely on. At least that's been my experience. Carly, maybe you'd like to speak to how it's worked for you.
Oh, that's beautiful, Theresa. I think that's really, and I think that for me too, it's that gripping. You can grip something, and then there's a spaciousness around it, a spaciousness that allows the problem to almost organically resolve itself. But I think the beautiful thing, because as women, I think that in so many ways we feel ourselves to be the peacekeepers, or the one who tries to keep it all together, or keep the glue in many of our families. And to really realize that accessing a higher consciousness can bring that, but in a relaxed way, is such a relief. And then I find that I have much more energy to pursue the things that I love. So would you like to give us any thoughts? Yes, final thoughts
Yeah, that's so
on
true.
problems and the holidays?
Yeah, exactly what you said, Carly. We all want to feel more peaceful, more relaxed, and putting our energy into solving problems is not a good use of our energy. We can trust that our problems will be solved for us. Put our energy into the things that bring us joy over this holiday season. And I just want to say that it was a big shift for me to stop talking about my problems, because suddenly I was like, what am I going to talk about now? But it's a way to see how when you're focused on the problem, you don't see all the fabulous things that are over here. When you take your attention and your focus away from the problem, it opens up a world of joy and peace and love and things that often we're not aware of to be grateful for. So Carly and I want to wish you a happy holiday season and a peaceful holiday season, by letting go of your problems, not focusing on them so much, taking a breath, relaxing, and trusting in a higher power to work things out for you.
Thanks so much, Theresa. I've often too used a little empty Kleenex box or an empty tea box as my God box. And if you want to, you can write the problems that you would love to see solved and just put it in there, trusting that that higher consciousness has your back. So here's, yes, from our hearts to yours, just a way to have more peace in this holiday season. Take care. Our love to all of you. Bye-bye.